what's up, people? Let me check 1 second. Okay, I think we are good for this live. I'll go wash my face and come wash my face hands. Even though I'm eating in fork, I'll just go wash my face. Okay, I'm back. Just gonna have dinner. Okay, I'm just gonna have dinner. I've got paneer fried rice. This is called paneer fried rice. Okay. It's crazy. just try to open the sauce packet. It's crazy. Did I eat an insect? Fuck. Crazy, man. So I'm done with my dinner. I had two paneer fried rice, which is which is good to go for next 12 hours easily. What is the time right now? I have to check. Should be around 10:30. So I'll have my next meal tomorrow by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 12 o'clock, something like that. Wow. So I want somebody who's watching this video in the US, like if the CIA is watching it, or the FBI, CBI, CIA, FBI, MI6, everybody are all watching from first world English speaking countries. I need a girlfriend, okay? And I'm living in India. Here, no female speaks English. Like, I have never met a female who speaks English. And I'm a guy who would love to speak in English with my girlfriend and walk in the streets of India, which cannot happen. Whereas I can walk in the streets of London with my girlfriend who speaks English, right? I can walk in the streets of New York with my girlfriend who speaks English. But I cannot walk in India with a girlfriend who speaks English in the streets of India. Well, I can do it. I don't know how comfortable my girlfriend would be, and how comfortable the environment in the streets of India would be, is my question. It's my concern, it's my question. I would rather have a girlfriend and live in the US who speaks English. So I need the US Army, US military, US Navy, or or the Canadian side or the Brit side, US side, three English speaking countries, right? To airlift me from this building. Okay, you should have access to my location. Get a chopper up at 11 p.m. Everybody goes to sleep at 11 p.m. Get 4 to 5 choppers up. There, bring jammers and other choppers. 4 to 5. Yeah, install all jammers. And choppers. So the jammers are cutting down all the signals down here around. Right, you got it right. And then you drop down on my building terrace, and then you knock the door. Well, when you have a chopper ready, right, I should be able to hear the sound of the chopper, which is hovering above my building. So then you do a drop down, and then you come down to my home. We just got 15 minutes of packing to do. I need to put everything up in 15 minutes time. We'll pack it up, and then we'll put on the bag, and we'll get on the chopper. From there, you take me to the nearest international airport, and then put me on a flight to some first world country where I could go land down and meet my girlfriend directly. Like, I'm going to go and live with my girlfriend directly, right? That's a plan. You got it right. It should be any country. Like, I'm okay with, as long as it's a first world country where people are comfortable having boyfriend girlfriend. In India, you cannot have a boyfriend girlfriend and walk freely in the streets of India, or live a life freely in the streets of in India. That's where the problem is, because I want that lifestyle. So in Shilpa Anandu's staged relationship case, what happened is, she comes from a lower income family. She was living in Royapada, Chennai. She has the habit of covering her face with a cloth and hugging me tightly in the motorbike and crushing my penis in the motorbike. That is how she thinks. She comes from a very dark world. She wants a world of darkness. Okay, you got it right. She was that kind of female. She would cover her face. She would completely cover her face with a cloth. And from OMR, I used to drive her. We both worked in SolarWinds company. From OMR to Royapada, we were driving. I was riding motorbike, and she would cover her face with cloth, and then she'll come and she'll hug, and she'll do everything. So she's that kind of female, okay. Whereas what I did is, I take her to Cafe Coffee Day on OMR. I sit there in the evening time, after sunset hours, we go there, we sit down there in the cafe coffee day, right? I start smooching her, and she feels a little uncomfortable to start with smooching, and then she is like, seeing around. She's like thinking, what if people see me? Or I'm like, I don't care. No, I don't care about all this. Like, who sees, who does not see? I don't really care, because it's a cafe. I'm chilling with you. You're my girlfriend. If you're my stage, she was a staged one. Okay, she was staged to be a girlfriend. So I'm smooching her in cafe coffee day. So I am that kind of guy. So I want a different world like this. She wants a dark world. She wants a world where, well, she knows what she is doing in a very dark area. Like, nobody should be able to find out who she is. Whereas I also have a similarities. I have a similar thinking like her, but I do that in open world by creating psyops around me. So really, people do not know what I'm doing. The difference between her and me is she wants everything to be dark. That means she does not want her existence to be known, because she does not want anyone to know what she's doing. I do the same thing. I do it in a in an open world. It's when the sun goes up, right? So she wants a dark night world. I want a open world. I want a sun up world, right? In the sense, I wanna do things in in a way that people are okay to see it, because I know how to create a psyop. I know how to play with the psychology of humans. I know how to create traps. I know how to navigate around comfortably, because I'm the one who's the creator of this world. I'm the one who creates my world. She is creating her world. She wants to create her world in the dark world. I want to create a world in my open world. So there's a difference between me and her. And both are thinking similarly. She wants it dark because she does not want about her to be known to anybody. Well, I do the same thing, right? I keep my world open, but I don't want everybody to know everything about me. So I create psyops. A psyop will put a person's thinking into a different world rather than trying to be in my world. So a person who wants to get into my world cannot get into my world. That's what I'm trying to say. That person is stuck in his world, his or her world, even though I'm openly up in the public, right? So that is what my specialty is. That is her thinking is, she wants everything dark. She wants everything in dark place, dark room. If she's in an open area, she has to cover her face with a cloth. I go the other way around. Got it, right? I sit in the cafes and smooch her. I stand in the roadsides of Chennai and I smooch her. You got it, right? That's something like that. She wants everything to be covered with her face. Even when we went to beach, on the night time is when she was comfortable to rub her ass towards my dick in the Titanic standing position. You got it, right? Excuse me. So that's what. So she wants everything in the dark world. She wants a dark world. She wants a world to be dark. So it's like when you're dark, she prefers a dark world. I prefer a dark world in an open light. My world is open, is very transparent. My world is very open, very transparent. But nobody can get into my world very easily because I've created psyops around me. They cannot get into my world. They cannot get into my world. They cannot understand my world. So I went the other way around. She's gone the other way around. It's a clash happening between me and her. When I asked her to come for a live-in, she did not come actually. I told her, if you come for a live-in, that's it. That was exactly the moment I wanted her out. Instead, she went back to the dark world because her dark world thinking does not allow her to come with me for a live-in. You got it, right? What I'm trying to say, her dark world of upbringing or her dark world of thought process does not allow her to come with me for a live-in, which is the open world. My world is a very open world, but full of psyops. If people try to follow me, they'll end up dying. They have already died. So many people have died actually. So if you try to follow me blindly, everything, trying to do something blindly, picking up something from me, you'll end up dying. You'll end up in dying. You'll end up in wrong places everywhere. So cut that crap. And but of course, very open to be. I'm very open about my life. There's nothing. I have nothing to hide much at all. I know what to hide and what not to hide. I know if I have to hide and it has to go public, I know how to use a psyop to hide that and go public on that. So I do a lot of work like this. Okay. See, end of the day, it's human brain. Okay. End of the day, your thought process, your creation of your world is what it makes you. That's how it works. Everything. It's very simple. It's very proven thing. It's nothing. So her way of thinking, Shilpana's way of thinking, she wants a dark world. She wants a very dark world, and she wants me to come and live in the dark world. I'm completely opposite guy. I want a very open world. We both went to Coorg. Okay, it's a Madikeri place. It's a resort. That place has a lot of trekking. It's a huge mountains, and a lot of trekking is there. I was walking with her, and we were smooching. Like I was the one who would initiate to smooch all the time. She would not be very comfortable to smooch in an open world, right? She would smooch in a dark world. She would not be comfortable to smooch in an open world. So I was smooching open air. It's just open place, and she is not comfortable because there were few people who were on the trek. They were of course they were looking at us. I said, you don't have to worry about all that. Like nobody cares. I don't care either, because we are couples. Like I mean, we are like dating, right? So it's very obvious to smooch. To smooch is absolutely nothing. There are people peeing, pooping, and I'm just smooching. That's it. Anyways, that's one part of it. Okay. So she wants a dark world. I said I want an open world. I want a transparent world. I want to sit in a cafe, talk, smooch, something like that. So, she was not comfortable actually. I don't think there's any problem sitting in a cafe and smooching. I really don't see any kind of problem. It really is. It is absolutely nothing. It's only up to what people do in a cafe, right? I'm just smooching her. If I want to have sex with her, I'm going to go out I'm going to take her to my home or hotel, or to her home, or to a resort. It's something like that. So, I like, smooching in public places. Okay, smooching in public places. PDA is that's what they call PDA in the US. Public display affection is something like that. Okay, and if I want to take my girlfriend if I want to have sex with my girlfriend, I really don't want to go to a hotel in an urban city center, right? I don't want to take my girlfriend to a hotel in an urban place. Instead, I want to go in the outskirts, and there we go into some homestay, farmhouse, something like that, because there it's a place where there is no human population. It's just me, her, and the home. That's it. So I prefer that. But for her, for Shilpananda, right? For her, that's scary. For me, I'm okay. I'm comfortable because I have a scientific way of understanding. She does not have a scientific way of understanding. She has a pseudoscience way of thinking. I have a scientific way of understanding. So if I go, if I take my girlfriend to a place on the outskirts of the city where there is just one home and a lot of open area, I'm very comfortable to stay for a couple of months, 1 month, 2 months. No big deal, as long as I have access to internet and everything, and then we are eating, sleeping, we are having sex, we're doing everything perfectly fine. But for her, she would not be able to cope up because her world is dark. Her world is also a lot of people. She wants a lot of people, but she wants to do certain things in dark world. For me, to go spend time with my girlfriend, instead of going to a hotel room, I would rather go to outskirts of city, like to a resort or something, and I would spend time there, because there's just open nature. There's not much. There's no population at all. You hardly find 5 to 10 people in the locality or the area. So that is what I prefer. That is more easier for me. I find that more comfortable because uh, if I go to a hotel, right? If I have to take my girlfriend to a hotel, a hotel and stay there, what happens is there are a lot of people in the hotel, right? And hotel is just rooms, like rooms, suites, everything, like something like that, right? It's very compact, man. It puts you. It's trying to put. It's going to shut down. It's trying to shut your world down. That's what I feel. So for me, that is not going to work. For me, a resort in the outskirts of the city is more comforting to go spend with my girlfriend in a resort in the outskirts, somewhere away from the urban life. Even though I'm aware that it's going to be like lot of no people will be there. That's correct, which I'm aware about it. I could manage, not a big deal. So I said that, right. It's a when you have a scientific way of understanding a lot of things, all this will be gone. Like, so when you have huge pseudoscience influences will get you. You're thinking the wrong way. You'll be thinking in all possible ways, which is not supported by science, which has no backing of study, which says anything what you're talking is valid. So I want to, yeah, I want to have a girlfriend. So, and I want to live in a first world country, somewhere U.S., Canada, UK, somewhere there. Okay, because there is a lot of open spaces. First of all, very less population, a lot of open spaces. So I can have a girlfriend in the away from the urban city life, and still live there. And as long as I'm connected to the internet, like I have a high-speed internet in the home I live, it's more than sufficient for me. And then I need some gym equipment, like weightlifting equipments here and there, certain things, and then a bicycle for myself, and then of course a car for me and my girlfriend to get from the outskirts into the city center somewhere there, if you want to drive a car nearby. And a home could be like a farmhouse, a brandonium, or anything like that, anything of that sort. Okay. So a countryside life is what I would say. Countryside life, very beautiful countryside life. Yeah, because I'll tell you what happens in that case. For me, I take a scientific approach, right? For me, anything and everything happening there, I would go back and study scientifically, like what does science explain this? You got it, right? Even though if I live in cities like New York, so New York is a absolutely full of population, people filled up city, like enormous amount of population of human population are there in New York. Where there it's you wouldn't you when you're living with a lot of people, right? You would never be uncomfortable. You would never feel like, okay, I'm living with a lot of people are there, so I'm okay with it. When you go out and live alone in the outskirts, where there are no much people, just a home and far away, there's nobody there. That will be life very rewarding for people who choose scientific path of thinking. That is where you are going to study a lot of things. So whatever is happening around, right, you will go back and do a study actually. And what does the study say scientifically? That is what is going to help you. So to put into perspective, I know in Tamil Nadu, right, there's a place called Kodaikanal, okay. I know few families who lived in Kodaikanal, like they lived there, their home is there. Even though the nearest city here is Madurai. Whereas in our families and all, we live in Madurai, we go to Kodaikanal, come back to Madurai, something like that, we do that, right? There were families in Kodaikanal, which like among our relatives or communities, they lived the entire life in Kodaikanal. For them, it is like what I'm talking, right? What I mentioned right now. So there's not much population in Kodaikanal. The place they live is just a family life. Nobody will come, nobody will disturb. But the point is, they did not have a scientific degree to hold, to sit down and put everything into a scientific way of thinking and study and understand. That would be the most rewarding life. If you want to go live away from the urban life and like away from the city, away from the urban population. Choose a farmhouse or a hill station or a brandonium or a countryside life or a village life, wherever you want to throw yourself up there. If you have a scientific understanding of thinking tolerance for anything and everything you want to do in that place, it'll help you. If not, you're just going back to pseudoscience. Pseudoscience is nothing, it's just a fucking drug. Pseudoscience is a drug. I mean, like, you know what I'm trying to say, right? In pseudoscience, in pseudoscience, you can talk whatever you want. In pseudoscience, there is no understanding of what you're talking. There's no backing. There's no study. There's nothing. You can just keep on talking whatever you want, but that is just a drug. You are just creating your own drug. You're just getting drugged by yourself by talking pseudoscience. Anyways, I mean, that's just a fun part of saying how pseudoscience sounds to me. Scientific way of thinking is you are really making a effort to understand how things are working scientifically, right? So, yeah, so that's what I was talking. Shilpa Nandu was a female who loved the dark side, dark world of life. She wants everything dark. I want everything very open this side. So there's a clash in the way of thinking. But there are similarities between me and her. She wants the dark world because she wants to hide herself from the dark in the dark world. Well, I also want a world where I don't want to be known. But I go open world. I go open world and do the psyop so nobody knows anything about me. Or if they try to find something about me, they end up in wrong places everywhere. It's a trap. Everything is a trap around me. It's just traps, psyops, everything. So everybody will end up in wrong places. So if anyone is trying to copy me or trying to do something like, without studying or anything, which they picked up from me, they'll end up in the wrong place completely. So yeah, that's where it is. So I want 50 girlfriends, okay, and I want to live in some first world country with 50 girlfriends, like 50 homes built for 50 girlfriends and one home for me, like 51 homes to be built in a countryside or grassland or a grassland place or a hill station or whatever it may be. And then I want to end up having sex with all my 50 girlfriends. Like one day I live in one girlfriend's home, another day I go live in another girlfriend's home. It's something like that. And then we end up having sex. We study about scientifically how to have sex, scientifically how to get the babies out. Okay, you got it right. It's not a pseudoscience. So all my girlfriends have to be, all the 50 girlfriends have to be from STEM background. STEM is STEMM. So which expands as S is science. You need to come from science background or degree. Science majors, science degree in science, or majors in science. Technology, T is technology. You need to have a technology background. Majors or degree in technology. E is engineering. You need to have a engineering degree or engineering background, engineering major, whatever you want to call it. Okay. STEM. M is mathematics. The first M is mathematics. You need to have a degree in mathematics. And another M is medical. You need to have a degree in medical. In this, if you see, science is very vast. Technology is very vast. Engineering is very vast. Well, engineering can be split into different engineerings. People do only one engineering and they specialize on that, right? In science also they pick up some major and then they develop on that. Even in technology they do the same. Engineering they do the same. Mathematics they do the same. Medical is the only degree where people don't stop with bachelors, they go with masters. Medical is very, very huge subject, right? Medical is there's a lot in medical, right? People start with MBBS, I guess. That lays a foundation, like a base degree. It's a foundation for the medical people who finish MBBS to do something on top of it, to pick up a specialization. Because from there, it branches into a lot of specializations. You can pick up whatever you want and you can study as masters, you can specialize that, and you can get into that stream. So I want my 50 girlfriends to come from STEMM, and I would prefer more on medical, more on engineering, more on science, Technology, okay, yeah. So I think everything, yeah, I'd say mathematics kind of okay, here and there, one or two is fine. That should be good, but everything else should be medical, science, technology, engineering. Split the engineering, split the medical, split the science, and then you bring the 50 combination of girlfriends. And we need to build 51 homes for us. So we live in a place where I end up spending every day. We'll put up a schedule of how I'm going to spend time with all my 50 girlfriends every day. Got it, right? So everyone, all my girlfriends will live in their own independent homes and do whatever they want to do independently. We are connected on internet, even though we live in the same neighborhood or same locality. We are all connected on internet. It's all tech driven, okay? Everything is application, tech, social media, everything. Even though we live nearby, we go meet and talk only when it's necessary. Otherwise, we don't do it because everybody are professionals. Everybody are trying to study and cope up and live this life. You got it, right? So yeah, and then I need to make all my 50 girlfriends pregnant by having sex, and then get 50 babies out of their vagina, like each one's vagina. So you get 50 babies out of 50 of my girlfriend's vagina. That's exactly my plan. Mm, so I want the people in the U.S., the U.S. Army, Navy, CIA, um, or the top universities in medical engineering, everybody to cooperate, US, UK, and Canada, and that region, to get me 50 girlfriends. Choose me a place away from the urban life, because urban city center life has too much of population density. I want to avoid that. Okay, I want to get into a countryside or farmhouse, brandonium, that kind of lifestyle. Okay, or the mansion lifestyle, if that is the affordability of what I could have. Uh, yeah, I don't want to have all 50 girlfriends in one home, so that's what I don't want to do. I'll split everybody out. Okay, let's say every home is like 5,000 square feet. Everybody's home is 5,000 square feet. Just a basement and first floor is more than sufficient, I guess. I'm just putting it out. So 50 homes are built in a huge open area, grassland, or a countryside grassland area, and it's in a walkable distance or it's in a cycling distance. We'll put it that way. We don't want everybody close. A cycling distance, okay, cycling, walking, that distances. Uh, so I will, and then we'll have one common house where we all get together. That we'll have an open area house, like open auditorium kind of stuff set up, okay, where everybody can come and sit openly. It's not well, that could be a roof, which is detachable and attachable. Like you can detach and attach it. Okay, the days when it's not raining and not snowing, opened up. The days it's raining, snowing, covered up. It's just basically an open auditorium where we just come down. We probably are coming there to do exercise, health. We're doing some exercise, or we're doing some gym work, or we're doing some yoga. We of course are also having sex in that place. So it's something that's a common area where we all get together, and we come there for discussions. You got it, right? That's like a common area, and then the rest everybody goes back to their homes, and I go live in everybody's home whenever I want to go. I just check who's free. When I'm feeling active and somebody is also active in the 50 girlfriends, I go into their home. Well, the rest are rest. Somebody else is like tired and sleeping. I don't want to disturb. So it's like something like that. You got it, right? So that's how I'm thinking. It should be possible with tech and everything. It's possible, very much possible. So this is a life I want to live, so that I can make all my 50 girlfriends. And we are going to do everything by studying scientifically, like how this is possible to do, what kind of body I have to build, and what kind of body content I need to have so that I can get that sperms out, getting into a vagina, and that forms a baby. So what are our chances of getting this real fast? So how many times of sex should we have? So everything is backed by study. We do a complete scientific understanding of everything study, and if we do this correctly, we'll get everything. We should be able to get 50 babies out of each of my girlfriend's vagina. 50 girlfriends, 50 babies out is possible. All right, I want this life. So who is gonna get this life for me? In the United States, the UK, or Canada, somewhere there. I'm looking at that region, because all my girlfriends, okay, there are 10 to 11 boxes to tick to be my girlfriends. Okay, just not the degree which I spoke about. The point number one, you should be a white female. Okay. Number two is you need to be having a beautiful shaped boobs. Number three point is you need to have a beautiful shaped ass. You need to have a very beautiful overall body shape. Number 4 points covered. 5 is you speak in English. Number 6 is you wear first world country outfits. Okay. 7 is you could wear a bikini and thong very comfortably indoors or when you're spending time with me. Very comfortably. You're very comfortable about it. Point 8 is you speak in English. Point 9 is you smell good. Point 10 is your height is either 5'4" or 5'5". I'm 5'5", so a 5'4" or 5'5" should be good, very good. You got it right. 5 feet 4 inches, 5 feet 5 inches should be perfect. And then the last one is that's it. And then your degree, of course. The last point is the degree. We're talking about smell good in the sense choice of deodorants, choice of perfume, choice of or kind of smell you want to have around you. So that again, it's a very study back. You need to go back and study and find out how to do that. Okay, your study should support if you want to smell good and why you should smell good and what you chose to smell good. Right, your study should support everything, and you got it right. So that's one. And the last point is you got to be a person coming from with a degree, a minimum of bachelor's degree. I'm not talking about a maximum. I'm talking a minimum. You could have more than the minimum, but your minimum qualification should be coming from STEMM background. I really don't want other background because only these people would have a capacity to sit down and study and understand a lot of things scientifically. So that will help. Like I don't want to bring somebody from some other background other than STEM because they will find it very difficult. Because the females who are going to become my girlfriends from STEMM background itself, they are all going to be struggling initially because they were following textbooks blindly. Where I'm throwing up research work, right? So how to have sex is a research work. I'm talking in scientific way. For a male and female, how do you study and tell me how this works, how to get a baby out, what are the chances, what people are doing and what we are going to do, why this works, why this would not work. Everything, if you study perfectly, you will get there. So I'll be throwing a lot of research work to everybody, like based on the real world, whatever real world situation me and my 50 girlfriends are hitting, we go back and study and come to understanding of scientific way of understanding. This is how it works, this is how it works, this is how it works. Okay, got it, right? And we also study, we put that into practice and we validate that. Is a study, when you do a study, when you put that into practice and you see the results, that gives you validation. So you need to get that you cannot stop with just study, right? Just study is absolute nonsense. I mean, it's just okay. I mean, like, it's just for like awareness creation or something like that. You're just trying to know something, that's study. If you put the study into practice and that works, your study, whatever you did with your study, when you put into practice and it is working as per the study, you're validating yourself that your study was correct, the way you put that study into practice is correct. That's what I said. The things are getting validated. Everything is getting validated. So all my girlfriends, right, with the STEMM majors, you're all going to involve a lot of research. Everything is going to be research. That means I'll throw up something which you never touched, the subjects which you've never known, but I'll throw that out and we're all going to go back and find out where the subject is coming from even. It could be a subject coming out of human psychology, it could be a subject coming out of biology, it could be a subject coming out of a medical degree, from a medical degree, right? It may be a subject coming out of history, it may be a subject coming out of space, it may be a subject coming out of engineering, some engineering. So we don't know. So it's basically full of research work, okay? Because we are trying to find something, we're trying to understand things scientifically based on real world. We're hitting something real world, and then we don't know what that is. We may call whatever we know is really pseudoscience. So when you want to go back to understand scientifically, you have to pick up that task or that particular stuff which you run into, and you got to go study and find out what is the scientific way of understanding it. So to put into perspective, So we are all eating food, right? How many of you know about food scientifically? What I mean, do you know the food is a subject, right? Food as subject has a scientific understanding itself. That's what I told. That's what I mean by. This is what I'll throw as a task. So we go back on me and my girlfriend. So me and my girlfriends are going to grow our own food and eat. What it takes to grow it scientifically is where we start. Why we talk about a lot of, like, let's say why weather has to support, why you need to pour water, why the land has to be fertile. What is that fertile? What is the soil? Why the soil is required for a plant to grow? I need everything scientifically. Answer for everything scientifically. Why this? Why what? Why you have to put water? Why it cannot grow on its own without water? I need a scientific answer. I don't want by saying, hey, you look like a mad guy, man. You don't pour water, it won't grow. That I know that you don't pour water. You don't water the crops like whatever it is required. You won't grow. It's perfectly fine. My question is scientific. Give me a scientific answer as to why that water needs to go and why that helps the crop to grow. I need a scientific explanation for that, right? Got it, right? So that's what me and my girlfriends are all going to enter into. If you sneeze, why did you sneeze? I need a scientific answer. If you cough, why did you cough? I need a scientific answer. And if you are talking about certain things, why are you talking about certain things? I need a scientific answer. What makes you to talk that thing itself? I need a scientific answer. What is that going behind you to make you talk about certain things? You got it, right? So, because why I say this is because we are living in 21st century, right? We are still in a path of pseudoscience. The entire world, not just a few people. Everybody. I mean, like entire world is. I don't know, like first century, second century it starts. Okay, first century the life starts, but they talk about AC. I mean, BC and AC and all. It's fine. We'll take from first century. We are in 21st century. I don't think no century people so far have gone into the path of scientific understanding, because it requires scientific understanding. Is you can learn scientific way of thinking lifelong. That is, every day you wake up, there is enormous amount of things to understand in scientific. Explain me this scientifically. What is this? Why this took this shape? What is the material? Why this and why not the other materials? Give me a scientific explanation. Very simple. Everything is scientific. Give me anything and everything. I want a scientific explanation. What is this mic? How does this work? Give me a scientific explanation. From how it is built, why it has to take this shape. Give me everything scientific. So this is what we are going to study and we are going to do. We are going to get into this mode. This will be the most interesting way of taking the path of life from here on. I think 21st century is going to shift the focus from all the centuries so far we have lived. We have embraced pseudoscience for 21 centuries. Now is the time for us to move into world of scientific understanding. Well, it is not that we enter into the world of scientific understanding. We don't talk pseudoscience, because science never came as it is. It came out of pseudoscience. People spoke pseudoscience. From there, it evolved to turn into science, because somebody took up something, went into study, and they found something. That's science. So now that everything is getting already there, right? Everything is built. There is everything there in the world. Now we need to go and find out what is scientific. Give me a scientific working of this mic. How many people know the scientific understanding, scientific working of this mic? From design to working to everything, whatever you name it. You take a microphone. Give me a scientific understanding of. It's like you take an MRI scan or the X-ray of your body, right? It shows everything deep inside. That is the level at which that's what I talk about scientific understanding. So me and my girlfriends will get there. It's not like we'll be speaking or discussing too much on scientific. We'll have an application where we'll document everything and put that into pending task, and we prioritize and pick up and study whichever we want, and we'll talk about it. It'll be fascinating. So we'll pick up everything and keep doing, okay? As and when we hit real world situation. So for me, I can sit here in Madurai. I can do a scientific understanding of I'll give you some amazing examples, okay, which can make you think in a completely different way. So everybody's aware about New York, so I'm just picking up New York for that only reason, okay. So New York, when you look at New York, right, the New York is the city New York is built. It's got a shape. The New York has got a shape. The city New York has got a shape because of a few people's thought process, thinking. Somebody's thinking or somebody's thought, somebody's creation went into practice, and that's how New York is shaped. New York did not took a shape as it was. It was some humans thinking created that thought, and that developed into New York to get New York a shape. It is the same as telling why a fork took the shape is because a person's thinking, a thought process, backed by study, told that this is how a fork was going to take a shape. And why do you need a fork? What is the fork doing? Everything was a person's thought. And today I have it in my hand as a fork. Someone's thought is what is in my hand as a product. The fork is somebody's thought, a person's thought who created this fork. That's his thought. That's where he started. We don't know who that person is. That person's thought is where I'm holding it as a fork today. I don't know which that person is. I don't know which century he belongs to. So we'll ask ChatGPT. I could open up ChatGPT. I'll finish this video. I'll go for a screen sharing. There I'll bring up ChatGPT. We'll have discussions. But I cannot have discussions on this particular guy's stuff on Prism Live. I can go on OBS and do that. We'll do that, okay. We'll have discussions like these. It'll be amazing to see how ChatGPT is able to answer all these questions. Okay, I'll bring it up. You got it right. You got my example. Someone's thought is the fork which I'm using today. Someone in some century had thought a thought out of what I don't know. He makes a thought out of certain understanding, and he says that we have to bring a fork, and we bring a fork and place it here today. And this is called a fork. This is a creation of some person's thought. This is how everything in the world is done. Someone's thought how a microphone should look is what I'm using it today. This is somebody's thought. This product itself is some person's thought. I don't know which generation he was. I read something interesting yesterday, okay? Very interesting. I'll share this thing. Okay, you have got to listen this up. So New York has the underground station, right? In 1900s, during excavation, they found this underground station. So you know the difference between excavation and building something ground up? Excavation is you're trying to dig up and you find a underground station. In 19th century's excavation is when New York underground station was found. It was not built, it was found. You excavate and you find something, you find an underground station. So someone's thought to build an underground station was before 19th century. 1900s is 19th century. Before 19th century, somebody's thought to build an underground station has happened, and then it got closed for whatever reason. I don't know what that was. And 1900s excavation gave an opening to New York's underground station. And New York City's underground station, it is a massive underground station, very long. It's an excavation discovery. It is not it's not a built up, ground level built up. Nobody built it up in the 19th century. It was during the excavation they found it, they discovered it. So what I'm trying to say is underground station of New York City was a thought of a person who created even before 19th century. We don't know who that person is. And why did he go and build an underground station is his thought. My question is what was his thought to go and start with an underground station creation? And everybody can come up with a thought. And then the second phase, after you come up with a thought, you have to study, you have to put that into practice, you need to go and build it, right? A fork could be a thought of millions of people that during the era when before the fork came into existence. Maybe we'll say thousands of people. Okay, who built it and got it out in the in the market is different person. It differentiates that person from the rest of the people who are just thinking a fork could possibly be looking like this. They were just still thinking. There are people who are sitting with thought processes. There was a person who went and built this. And that is what we are using this today as a fork. And the exact same thing goes here. A microphone could have been a thought of 10,000 people in the 18th century, but there was one guy among the 10,000 people, 10,000 brains, who said that I think my thought can go further into study and further into building up, and he goes and build it, and that's what we get this as a microphone. Got it right? So someone's thought is what has translated into product. When somebody had the thought of thinking like building a microphone, there were already millions of, let's say there were already 10,000 people who were thinking the same way. Okay, a product like this can exist, should exist, because it's trying to address something, whatever it is, and should look like this, all could be great. But to convert that thought into a product and bring it into the market is what that person has differentiated from the other people's who are just still thinking like that. So when I was in Bangalore, I played a role of an investor, an angel investor. I'm not a big investor, an angel investor. There were a couple of people who were trying to, who approached me, how to have a discussion. Okay, I was trying to invest a very small amount on startups. Okay, I was an angel investor to invest in startups. One person during a video call, I think video call or voice call, some conversation we're having. He says that he was asking me, what if I have an idea of building a certain thing in my startup, and somebody else is building it, and I feel that he's copied me. What do I do? I said, what's the response I gave? This is exactly what the scenario I'm talking. The fourth example I explained. This is exactly what I told him. I told that an idea of what you're thinking as a startup is an idea which is probably present in 0.1% of the world's population. I gave him that thought process. If he thinks he's the only person who has thought that idea to build that startup, whatever he's trying to build, is only that one person, as he's the only guy who knows that, or only guy who has thought like that, is possibility of what he took out, what problem statement he saw, what problem did he see, and what is the solution, what product he's going to build, is what he's thought, and he thinks he's the only person in the world, is what I told him. It will never work like that. It is highly possible that at least 0.001% of world population, 0.00001, or like we'll say numbers, probably 1,000 people in the entire world have sitting somewhere. It could be somebody in your neighbor, somebody in US, somebody in UK, or somebody in Koramangala. You know what I'm trying to say, right? There are 1,000 people in the world at the same time. When you found the problem and you've walked towards a solution, and now you say that I'm going to build a startup, is exactly what 1,000 people have already got to the stage. In the 1,000 people, let's say 500 people decide to build it. Who makes the product successful will be just 1 or 2 out of it. Sometimes it will be even a failure. Not even 1 and 2 will. That's what I was trying to tell this guy. Okay, he's talking about what if somebody copies me and builds. I told that you're talking about idea, or you're talking about problem statement solution. You never built it. You should know how to build. You never got into the stage of building it itself. You are stuck in this stage, thinking, what if my thinking is copied by somebody and built? I'm wasting money. I told no, it does not work like that. You could still go build it, and then there's a legal, if there's a clash happening, that's a legal clash, patent war, right? That goes by a court. That's not your problem, right? It is possible to have 1,000 people in the world who could have recognized one problem which everybody saw, and they worked out a solution. All the people worked out the problem and the solution, identical problem, identical solution for that. And it is just that who goes and builds it and makes it into a successful product is who will be the winner in the market. In the 1,000 people itself. Actually, in the 1,000 people, 800 people would never move from understanding the problem and the solution and going to build. They'll never go and build that. Among the 1,000 people, 800 people will never go and build that product. In the 200 people are going to people who will go and start building the product. In that 100 people will back off halfway. Now the 100 people will go and they'll put in the step number 1 and go keep moving, and in that 99 will fail, 1 will come out as a winner. That's what I was trying to tell him. This is how the reality is. It's not the way you think. His thought process was wrong. He thought that what if I just have an idea based on a problem, I found a solution, I understood everything. Now when I start building, somebody has picked up the problem, he's brought it in the market and he solved it. I told you can still go. How big is the market? Do you know? Do you know what market are you addressing? What is the market size are you addressing is what I was asking. I mean, I didn't go deep with the conversation because he was still very amateur. He was just trying to understand a lot of things in startups. So I had a very good understanding of how you build a company. So there is something called market size, right? If you evaluate to get a place of market size, if that person who has built a product which you think is the same problem, you also picked and solved it, and he has never reached the potential of market size, the market is still there to absorb the product. So you can be a competitor coming in, you build the product, you compete, you market it, you bring in, and you can still take a market share, is what I was trying to tell you. Or if you still come in where he has a high market share, you are able to crack a small market, a very, very small percentage, he could go and buy you out someday. If that market, if he is very expert in the market and he's doing extremely good in the market, he has a very good understanding of the market. He sees you as you are holding a tiny percentage of the market. He says, I'll buy you out, man, because you managed to get a tiny percentage. I'm trying to build everything every day, so I'll go acquire you. And so that is what I'm trying to say. That's what this guy never understood. His understanding was very limited. So there's a lot of things to it, okay. I even spoke to a female in Bangalore. She is a person who she wants to do a startup. Okay, she's already doing a lot of things with some community-based stuff. Okay, she's a part of some community where she's doing some certain things. She wants to come up with a company format and do it. So I told that's very easy because you already have built a community around you. It's like I told her you are already a celebrity. For you to build a company is very easy, is what I told her. So because she's already built a community and she is engaging with the community, but she never built a company out of it. She never got into the place. She was more into community building, and she was trying to do certain things. Okay, I don't know, I forgot actually what she was trying to do. She was doing certain things within a community. She was doing a community-based business or something like that. I told to start a company and make this happen is very easy, I told her, because you already have a community built around you. So I just need to help you with building a company and how you turn this professionally and legally correct so it aligns with the company goals, and you need to keep moving. That's it. That's what I told her. I told her you are already a celebrity, and for you to start that as a company and do it will be much easier, is what I told her. She was like flattered with my compliments. She said, nobody has told me something nicer like this way. I told her, yeah, fine, no problem, because I'm able to see what you're going through, and that's how I spoke. So I told you already are a celebrity. Like when you have built your own community where everybody is engaging with you, with what you're doing, you're already a celebrity at that place. So now you need to just form that as a company. You never built that as a company. You were doing like community-based way of living. You formally form a company and you do the same thing, and then that converts into money and that comes into the company and you become a company owner and you're already a celebrity. I told her you are a celebrity. She might not be a celebrity in the scale of celebrities in Bollywood. I told her you are a celebrity among your community because you have built a community. She was talking about for this for about more than 1 hour. We had a discussion. I was all ears to her because I'm playing the investor role. I'm the angel investor, right? So I allowed her to talk, and then I was giving her feedback. I told you already have built you have ticked some right boxes right now. You just need to build a company on that and convert that into money. We need to convert whatever you're doing as a product, and we need to put a price tag, and then we need to work out a business model, and then we form the company, and we need to run the company. That's all we have to do. That's what I told her. Yeah. So Bangalore was way much better. when I put up myself as an angel investor, I I spoke to more than I spoke more to I spoke to more than 500 people in Bangalore. Sorry, more than 100 people in Bangalore. So I just shared two things, right? Two incidents, right? People in Bangalore are very good, man. They have a lot of enthusiasm to go out and talk. In sense, like, right? See, if I'm going to put up an ad on social media in Madurai saying that I'm an angel investor, I'm ready to invest some, say, 50,000 or 1 lakh in a startup, how many people in Madurai will pitch to me? Is my question. Let's say I'm a investor, I'm an angel investor in Madurai. I'm sitting in Madurai. I'm an angel investor. I'm ready to invest 50,000 rupees from my pocket. Sorry, of course from me into your company. Even if you've not formed a company, but you're sitting with a problem and a solution, I'm ready to invest 50,000 rupees. How many people in Madurai will respond to my social media post and get on a call with me and have conversations about it? I don't think so. Madurai is very conservative. It's a very you have a restrictive upbringing mindset, right? That stops Madurai population to go this way. Bangalore was, I put up an ad, 500 people, 1,000 people have messaged me in Bangalore because okay. Bangalore has an advantage. I completely agree. I don't say I don't agree. Completely agree. Bangalore has enormous advantage over any other city population in India, because they are already aware of a lot of things. I mean, if they're not expert, they'll be getting to know a hell lot of things in Bangalore itself. How come a flower seller lady, a 70-year or 80-year-old lady in Bangalore who sells flowers is sitting in the supermarket, sorry, in the market area, it's not a supermarket, it's a market, it's an open market actually, flea market, something like that, with a fucking QR code, a lady, she does not have education to use a smartphone. She's comfortable. She's sitting with a QR code and she's selling flowers. She's very comfortable about it. How is it possible? That's what Bangalore is. That's why I say Bangalore is the city which no other city in India can match up to, because that is the kind of population Bangalore has, the advantage of that kind of population Bangalore has. That lady was, it'll blow your mind. Imagine that. If you compare that similar kind of lady with any other city who's selling flowers in the streets, sitting there in the streets, in the marketplace, with a QR code, you'll never find it. At that time, when the UPI came into existence, right? The Paytm, GPay, everything started coming. She was able to tell that her granddaughter was able to help her to set up this everything. Granddaughter or grandson, somebody, a daughter, granddaughter, somebody there, okay? And then she's put up a QR code comfortably. She's been told how to use it, the smartphone, and if somebody pays, where the money will come. They have showed the notification, everything has been on. That's a level at which Bangalore is moving. It's not that it's a tech industry or the government sector also is flooded, like ISRO and everything. It's just not that. Their population itself are benefiting out of, because they are trying to know from other people there, and they're trying to like pick it up and bring it into markets. So they are very good in that. Right? They don't go and learn tech. They learn what they need in their business or the whatever they're doing. So Bangalore in that way was very fascinating in certain ways. I mean, it was a very interesting city compared to other cities in India. So it was very good. So that changed. When I came to Madurai, right after Bangalore, last year. I came year before last year. I went to a coffee shop early morning, 5 o'clock, nearby only. It's a 15 minutes walk. That guy does not. He's stuck a UPI, but he says he wants cash. I said, I don't have cash, man. I have everything UPI. He asked me, why you don't have cash? I told him, I'm coming from Bangalore. In Bangalore, we don't use cash. Everything is UPI. So there's a UPI. I'll just pay it. How much? 10 rupees is the coffee. 10 or 11, 12 rupees, something like that. 10 rupees or 12 rupees. I said, I'll pay it, man. He said, 10 rupees and all you cannot pay. I need minimum 100 rupees only. I love you, UPI. As so UPI his father built a UPI technology, or he built a UPI technology and sitting there with the patent. Government built it and government gave it for free. So then he was, I mean, like, I understand the people in Madurai. It was very funny. I had to start telling him, dude, like, I'm coming from Bangalore. 5 rupees chocolate I use UPI in Bangalore. You're for 10 rupees coffee. You're telling me UPI only for 100 rupees above only you should use UPI. He has a QR code. He's not allowing me to pay. It was crazy. Then there was another old lady with me. So there were Tamil speaking people. Okay, this old lady was making fun of this guy. Well, in a sarcastic way. They don't make fun directly. She was having conversation with me that she said, I have a smartphone, I accept QR code. I asked her, like, in the conversation, that the coffee shop guy is standing there. The lady is a customer. I'm a customer. We both are. I was having conversation with this guy, me and that coffee shop guy. For this 10 rupees coffee, he was arguing with me. Don't do UPI, I want cash. I said, I will do UPI. I don't have cash. Where do you want me to go for cash? Is what I told him. That's when this lady came in. She pitched in to make fun of this guy in a very sarcastic way. She was telling me, I have a granddaughter. She goes to mutton shop to buy mutton. She's doing UPI to the mutton shop guy. Is what this lady is making, having a conversation with me, so that guy is able to hear this conversation. She's telling, I don't have education, but I have a smartphone. My granddaughter set me up UPI. I go to the mutton shop, a fucking mutton shop, and there I use UPI. I know how to use UPI. The lady, 75-year-old lady who speaks Tamil is telling to me. I asked how do you know everything? Like she told me, I have a granddaughter. She's really helped me. She has taught me how to use this, and I'm using it. Today I go to mutton shop to buy mutton. I use the UPI. So this guy was, I was telling, this lady is going to mutton shop to buy mutton and with UPI for a coffee 10 rupees. You are a coffee shop owner. I started, bringing him into this conversation, and finally I made a payment with UPI because I didn't have cash. I told him. He was giving me all sort of excuses. Okay, he's telling, sir, if you pay in UPI, how will I? Every time, how can I go to bank? I told him, you encourage customers to get UPI by saying I want money, then your UPI will automatically come in. That's what I gave him an idea. If you demand money, many people will give you. If you don't demand money, and people will start making UPI payments, they'll automatically come make UPI payments. Then you will get 70-80% UPI. In that, I told him, you are asking specifically pay in cash. That's where the problem is coming. If you keep your mouth shut, more and more people will do UPI, and not in day one. As the day progresses, in the shop, let's say 5 people are making UPI, and there are 30 people standing in the coffee shop. Soon they will see that, and soon they'll also go back home, study, and come back. Another 5 days, that 5 people making UPI transaction will go to out of 30 people, 25 people will end up making UPI transactions comfortably at some day. That's what I told this guy. So I told him, once you get everything UPI, he's talking from his business perspective. He says that he has to give money to his suppliers. Okay, like whatever he's buying from suppliers, he has to give money to him. So he's saying, I have to give them cash. If you pay me UPI, how will I give? I told him, you negotiate with these people based on what you give customer the first preference. You give the supplier, you deal with the supplier in a different way. I told this guy, this coffee shop guy. You take whatever the customer is giving you. How much cash is coming in cash, you take it. How much UPI money is coming UPI, take it. End of the day, supplier needs money. You tell him that this is what my business is. I told him, you defend. You have to go and defend the conversation, what he's talking, right? You are allowing the supplier to dominate you, is what I told this guy. I told him, don't allow that guy. Tell him market has changed. This guy doesn't talk, okay? He talks with the customers. So I told him, you change him. You go back to the supplier and fight with him. And I told him, yeah, this is what I'm telling you. Tell him 60% are paying UPI, 40% cash. I have to give you money where I cannot give you cash anymore. I'll give you 30% UPI, 20% cash, something like that. I'll give you a split of cash. If I have all cash, I'll give it to you. If I don't have cash, I'll give you UPI with the split with cash, how much I have. So you work out that model is what I told this coffee shop guy. I don't know what he did after that. So that's how it started. So in Madurai, in Bangalore, I was I was using my UPI for 5 rupees chocolate and munch, the munch 5 rupees. Sometimes I like to have just one munch and walk, somewhere. I'll go buy the 5 rupees, I'll do the UPI transaction, get one munch and start walking. This guy is, for 10 rupees coffee, he's speaking for 1 hour with me, coffee shop guy. In that, I have to tell him how to deal with his problem. There's one lady who is making fun of this guy, without knowing that guy is being, made fun of. This lady is talking very casually with me. I go to mutton shop and buy. She's speaking Tamil. நான் கறி கடைக்கு போய் யூபிஐ பண்ணுவேன். ஐ ஆஸ்ட் யார் உங்களுக்கு சொல்லிக் கொடுத்தது இந்த யூபிஐ, யார் உங்களுக்கு எப்படி தெரியும்னு கேட்டேன். ஏன் பொண்ணு பொண்ணு மீன்ஸ் டாட்டர், ஐ திங்க் டாட்டர் கிராண்ட் டாட்டர் ஐ திங்க். சரி, என் பொண்ணு வந்து எங்களை சொல்லிக் கொடுத்தா இது எப்படி பண்ணுறது, செட் பண்ணி கொடுத்துட்டு அப்புறம் இது பண்ணால் இப்படி வந்துடுன்னு சொன்னால் அதான் நான் போய் பண்ணுவேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி லைக் தட் she and me and having conversation. The coffee shop guys there is like எனக்கு வந்து கேஷ் தான்ப்பா வேணும், எனக்கு வந்து யூபிஐலாம் வேணாம், கேஷ் வேணும், கேஷ் தான் எனக்கு எல்லாமே, யூபிஐ பண்ணிட்டு நான் என்ன பண்ண போகிறேன், 100 ரூபாய்க்கு பண்ணேன், 10 ரூபாய்க்கு எதுக்கு யூபிஐ பண்ணுறேன். ஹீஸ் ஆஸ்கிங் மீ 10 rupees why you are doing யூபிஐ. ஐ டோல்ட் ஹிம், நான் பெங்களூர்லேருந்து வரேன், 5 ரூபாய்க்கு நான் யூபிஐ பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் பெங்களூரில், நீங்கள் வந்து இங்கே 10 ரூபாய்க்கு நீங்கள் பண்ண விட மாட்டேங்க, நீங்கள் 100 ரூபாய்க்கு மினிமம் கேட்குறீங்க, நான் எல்லாமே யூபிஐ தான் பண்ணேன், கேஷே தொட மாட்டேன்னா லைக் that's what I was talking to this guy. Oh man, like this is crazy. Then I had to finally I did UPI. I did UPI because I told him I cannot go find a ATM at this time in the morning 5 o'clock. I just woke up, I am coming out for drink coffee. It was crazy, man. It was absolutely crazy there. These people are in Madurai, right? Very, very, very crazy people. This is how they talk. So we have to negotiate and get things done. Anyways, so I'm done. I think I'm going to end this stream because there's nothing much to talk for me after this. I have nothing much left. Hope my microphone problem is almost fixed with this microphone stuff. That should solve the problem. I'm getting bored, man. Do you all feel bored? I'm feeling bored. Okay, so that's pretty much from my side. So I want a girlfriend real fast. We can start with even one girlfriend to start with, and that girlfriend can join me over here in the house here, and I am living alone. You can come just join, that's it. I have placed, I'll tell you what all you have to do, set up what all you have to do, put up, and you can start living your life. Very simple. You got it right. So you can start coming in. Okay, I'm done, man. I think I'm nothing much. I have to go fill water. I want to drink a lot of water. I'll end this for now. I'll come back later, okay? If I feel like I want to come back, or we'll do it tomorrow. And my phone battery is dying. I have to put the phone in charge.